So today we're going to talk about the farm projects for 2021. Gosh, I love this weather compared with rain and mud. It's beautifully crisp, it's about -1, but just look at it, it's gorgeous. So I know we've already discussed the 6 income streams that we're going to be using on the farm this year, and I will link that video up here so you can take a look. But today we're going to be talking about the 10 projects that we're undertaking at the farm, and they're slightly different because not all of them are income based. They're more things that in my heart I just want to get done. And so I've split these 10 into 2 groups, 5 priority projects and 5 long-term projects, which I want to start this year but necessarily won't be finished. So the main priority project this year is obviously the market farm and the flower garden. The flower garden is starting here and the market farm garden is here, and it's going to run all the way down. And I've spoken about it a lot in previous videos, and we're going to see it a lot over the coming months as we plant seeds and grow and do all of the kind of the first farmers markets and the first roadside stalls and all of that. So I'm not going to go into it in any great detail now, but that is obviously our #1 project because that is our main way of bringing income into the farm this year. So another priority project is hatching eggs, and it's one of the main ways of getting some income on the farm, but we also want to develop many more breeds. So Sard is hopefully going to be adding to his pheasantry with a couple more breeds of pheasant. I'm going to be building some chicken tractors so we can separate out the Barber Danvers, the Silkies, the Silver Appleyard, the Ixworth chickens. And we're also looking at the possibility of getting some new hatching eggs, things like peacocks, and maybe some guinea fowl, and possibly some rheas and or emus. So another priority project for this year is getting the Nuttery, this is a lovely horse chestnut, and the turkeys sorted. And it ties into the hatching eggs because we're not rearing turkeys for meat, we're going to be rearing turkeys as a heritage breed, so we want to save the breed, and we also want to sell hatching eggs and possibly eating eggs from the turkeys. And with our nuttery, of course, we want to get our nut trees in as quickly as possible because even the fastest of growing trees can take several years before they produce any nuts which we can then viably pick, harvest and sell at farmers markets. So we've got horse chestnuts in, and we've got sweet chestnuts in, sorry. We've also got cob nuts, got walnuts, and we've got an almond, but we need to buy a lot more trees to fill this entire space. Now, a priority project this year is the pond restorations. And you might wonder why the pond restorations come on the priority projects and not the long-term goals. And it's mostly because a couple of years ago we had frog spawn in one pond and I hadn't started restoring it and it all died. It hatched and all died. Then 2 years later, after I had done some mega clearing, we had more frog spawn, it hatched, and we got fully developed tadpoles into little froglets and they left. So the results were astounding in just a couple of years of clearing. So my goal by January, February, March, by beginning mid-April, is to have both of our natural ponds at least half cleared so more sunlight can get in there. It's also important because after that stage I can't cut back anymore because of nesting birds, and I don't want another autumn of all this deciduous leaf stuff falling in and clogging the ponds up even more. So over the coming weeks, I'm just gradually chipping away at them every week, every other day. I'm spending an hour or 2 just cutting back, just to try and get these ponds cleared. Another priority project for this year is goats. Good girl, bud. Good girl. So you mustn't chase goats, bud, okay? I know, you want to chase, but you mustn't. And you mustn't run. You must headbutt. Okay? No chase, no run, headbutt. Now we already have our 5 weather boys, the maintenance crew, but the priority this year is to get a billy and to get some nannies and have babies. Why is that a priority? The main priority is not making money from the babies, but it's getting milk so that we no longer have to rely on buying our milk in and we can drink raw, unpastured goat's milk. That's really important for us because the welfare of the dairy industry is something that I don't like buying into, and also every time you buy cartons, you're promoting plastic use. So I really want to be able to, hello Ulysses, I really want to be able to have a milking goat that I can produce our own milk from, and obviously they're going to be pedigree Anglo-Nubians, and so we will be able to sell any offspring to make a little bit of extra cash as well. If you're enjoying my 100 Days of Farming videos, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing so you don't miss any of the future ones. And once you get to the end of this video, looking at the 10 projects for this year, feel free to go and watch some of the other stuff at Brynwood Farm. So, sheep are the first long-term project. Now, I've already got going with sheep. We've got our 2 ewe lambs here who are very focused on the dog who is over there. We also have a shearling ewe who is hopefully pregnant, and we have 2 ram lambs. Now I'm putting sheep as a longer term project because I'm not focusing on sheep as a meat source. I'm primarily using them to graze the land in a regenerative way, to increase and better the soil quality, obviously with their poop, and to save this heritage breed, which is the Norfolk Horn. So hopefully we'll be having 1 set of lambs this year. We'll be tupping these girls and our shilling again in autumn, and so 2022 will really be the year where we start to have a lot of lambs on the, well, when I say a lot, 3 to 6 lambs on the farm. So that's a long-term project in building a good quality stock herd of Norfolk Horns. There will be some money selling the future lambs, especially ewes and any really good stock rams, and there will be a little bit of meat, a lamb here or there for our freezer. But it's a long-term project. Another long-term project is Piggies. So like a lot of things, we're focusing on a rare breed heritage pig from this area, which is the large black. And it's a long-term project because I'm not buying mature sows. I want to buy a couple of young gilts so we can get them used to fencing, electric fencing. I've already got a couple of names in mind. We're going to be keeping them down here in the pit, and they're going to start helping us clear the land around here. But again, it's a longer term project because we won't be able to breed them initially because they'll be too young, because we want to get them so we can tame them, we can get to know their personalities, and we can just enjoy having piggies before we're launching ourselves into piglets. And then obviously we'll need to find a registered pedigree boar, and I haven't done a huge amount of pig keeping, so I want to kind of learn the ropes slowly rather than diving in with both feet. So it's a long-term plan. So 2021 goal is to get 2 young black, large black gilts, and then 2022 we'll think about moving that project on. So a long-term project is conservation. I'm super passionate about conservation and bringing as many wildlife species and flora species onto the farm as possible. And if I had all the money in the world, I would just focus on that. But we need to focus on the projects that bring in cash so that long-term we can actually develop all of the nature and conservation projects. But that being said, we are going to be concentrating this year on adding more conservation stuff. So we've got this bat box up here, which is sponsored by our Patreon, Fiona. And we're going to be putting up more nest boxes around the farm. In particular, there is a pair of kestrels, and I really want to put up a kestrel box and see if we can get them to breed inside and set up a camera. Obviously, this ties in with the pond restoration and making sure we have water sources and frog spawn and all of that sort of thing. So it's a very ongoing project, which we're going to be doing for the next decade or so. And another ongoing long-term project is trees. Now again, this ties in with the conservation stuff, and also you would think it would be a priority project because, as the famous saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, the second best time is now. But we need money for trees, and so we have to concentrate on priority projects to bring in cash that we can then use the profit from to buy more trees. So again, this year in 2021, we will be planting lots more trees. You know, ones that are donated from you guys, which are sent to us, ones that I buy from places like the Wildlife Trust, the Woodland Trust, but it's an ongoing project. So I don't think we'll stop planting new trees until we die. And then last up for 2021 on the project list is silkies. So if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you'll know that I've been working on a silky colour line. One is to get a nice brown silky. The other is to breed in this kind of marshmallow colour onto the chest. This is one of my oldest ladies, aren't you? So you're looking a bit bedraggled these days. But that's a long-term project because we need lots of eggs, because a lot of the eggs don't come out with this colour. Where are you going? Come here. A lot of eggs don't come out with this colour, or she used to have a red cap, and then as she matured, you can see it's all but disappeared. So it's a long-term project, which we will continue. So that means we're going to be hatching out a ton of silky chicks this year. Hi. In the hopes that we can get all this nice colour variant coming through. So those are my 10 projects for 2021. Those 5 priority projects and the 5 ongoing, longer lasting projects, which I think all of them are achievable to some extent.